Hey, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. I'm Yosha and I'm your go-to girl for all things real. My family and I went to go see the movie Elemental, and it is a new Pixar movie that is about the different elements like fire and water and the differences that they have in navigating life, essentially. The whole point of today's video is to share 4 lessons that you would probably walk away with if you watch this movie. These are lessons that I resonated with. And if you also saw this movie, I would love to hear what you took away from this film. I did go and see it with a 8-year-old. And to me, I felt that this film was more of one of those adult cartoon-like movies where it's really something that is intended for like adults and teenagers, more so than the little ones. But I do think that exposing your children to movies like this is a great way to spark real conversations with them. And I have some notes because I already had these in my head, and it's like when you get on YouTube trying to talk about it, now you can't remember what you thought. All right, so the first one is love comes when you least expect it. So this story followed the fire character, and like she had this really good drive about her, a very hardworking young lady, and she was not looking for love. She was working on herself. She was trying to do things to reach a specific goal of hers, and then love just kind of came out of nowhere. And when I also think about this, love doesn't come when you expect it. It doesn't come when you expect it. It doesn't come by who you would expect to have it with. You know, when you are dating, you experiment, you try different relationships, or you get stuck in a specific type, and sometimes that type is not so great for you. And it doesn't help when that type is also being pushed and recommended and like preferenced by your family, i.e. your parents, because you think that, you know, what they think is best for you. And that leads me to one of my second lessons, which is you have to live life on your own terms to an extent. Like if you're a Christian, obviously you want to live for God and you want to honor your mother and your father because that's what the word tells us to do. But at some point in your life, you leave and cleave. And one way is through marriage, but another way is just as you become an adult, you start to shift from being the child and living for what your parents want and desire of you, and you live for what you want for you. And your dream is yours. You don't have to do what your parents wanted you to do, you know, because they're trying to live through you. And I think sometimes as kids, we carry the burdens of our parents and we grow up too fast, and we end up feeling like when we get to that age of being an adult, we owe our parents what they couldn't have achieved because of how they navigated their lives. And to an extent, it is good to appreciate your parents and love on them and show them appreciation for what they did and how they sacrificed, but your life is still your life. And so when it comes to like families and just trying to, you know, make your family happy, at the end of the day, you have to at some point put yourself in the top priority list, or you won't be able to get through your own personal flaws and barriers and reach your highest potential. Don't leave important things unsaid. That is definitely one of the biggest takeaways to me from this movie. Not only is this sort of thing mentioned, but you learn through the characters in the story that they left things unsaid. And when they left things unsaid, they were not able to have the opportunity to say or do certain things in the same manner that they could have if they would have said it when it came up. And for me, it also taught a lesson within that particular lesson about not leaving things unsaid, about like walking in your truth and being real with yourself and being real with others, and not being afraid to take a risk. Sometimes we get so afraid of what will happen if we do or say or feel or take that leap of faith that we don't do it. And then when we don't do it, we just don't end up getting to where we want to be. You are not responsible for living your parents' dreams. I kind of talked about that one already when I said you're supposed to live for yourself and, you know, on your own terms, not to do what everyone else expects you to do. But I just want to reiterate that, like, people sometimes are never satisfied because they're looking for validation from everyone else and they're not looking to appease themselves. And there are certain people in your life that matter. As a parent, your kids and what they need, that's always gonna matter. But at some point, your kids, when they grow up and they get grown, like, you have to kind of let them grow and figure out things on their own. And that child does not become responsible for you just because you've been responsible for them and getting them up and raised. Now, of course, if they get established and they can, then that's okay. But that shouldn't be the expectation as soon as they're done growing up and you've taught them everything. And the last one is to avoid making generalizations. This movie did a really good job of talking about prejudice and like generalizations and how we let negative perceptions of people that we don't know cloud our judgment and our perspective about strangers. And it makes us treat all people as if they are less than because we are mad at a certain group of people. And I think that this movie did a really good job of talking about how you break those barriers. Take things by the individual case basis because no group of people is exactly the same. And by making those generalizations about people and just saying like, this group of people is this type of way, or this group of people is not good enough, or this type of people I don't associate with, like, that is stereotypical and it's very negative. And so I know it was just a cartoon and we're talking about different elements, but they had some really deep subliminal messages within the film that if you were really paying attention, you would pull into that like, oh, okay, I see the writers are trying to tell you something here. So overall, I would rate the movie out of 5 stars. I'd give it a 3.5. There were some parts that tugged on my emotions a little. I was like, oh. And it was just some parts where I'm like, okay, this to me is for the grown folks. Y'all, this is not for kids. But I would love to hear your thoughts. How did you feel about the movie? Have you seen it yet? Do you think you want to see it? Would you recommend this movie for your children? I will be posting a vlog when we went to go see it soon, so be sure to check it out. I will link it on the card so you can click it. It'll be on the pinned comment and it'll be in my description box. You got to put it everywhere in these YouTube algorithm because it'd be like making it hard for my folks to find what they need to find for me. But just know I'm posting consistently. Your girl is coming back with the videos back to back to back. So get used to it because I'm finna chase this content creation bag. And I also just am enjoying vlogging. I'm getting used to using the camera again. I'm getting used to editing. Like, I'm really looking forward to what I'm gonna do with YouTube this year, and I want y'all to come with me. So if you're not already subscribed, be sure to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and stick around. Let me know what y'all wanna see next as far as vlogs and sit down videos. Bye, y'all.